Wong, how long have you been blogging?
Well, I've been blogging for the past 4 months actually.
Only 4 months?
That's right.
Why so late?
Reason was because I was struggling with the fact that whether as the editor of a newspaper or whether I should actually blog. I wanted to do it actually 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But for some reason they felt that since we have a column in the newspaper, we should just stick on to the newspaper. I guess it's very much a print media mentality.
Yeah.
But after the general election in Malaysia in March, I decided that Malaysia has changed. The bloggers in Malaysia played a major factor in the results of the general election. One, the bloggers were giving the mainstream paper, the print media and the TV a run for the running, in the sense that they were providing alternative views, and people had choices, Malaysians had choices, and they played a big role in the sense that they came up with a lot of views and articles which you may agree or may not agree, but definitely they were views that one would want to take into consideration.
And those views were not reflected in the mainstream press?
In some ways, yes, I will agree to that. And as a result, I decided that in the case of the bloggers, they had this reputation that they had become very anti-establishment. I felt that there was a need to balance it up. There was a need for newspapermen especially, because most of the bloggers in Malaysia, they're not newspapermen. There are people involved in NGO activities, social activities, human rights activities. They had these certain views that they take. I felt that as newspapermen, we will be able to come sort of in between the balance. And I decided that I decided to blog, and I decided to call my blog the new Malaysia, because I felt that Malaysia has essentially changed. In a sense that after the
and what do you usually blog about?
I blog about politics actually. And that my specialty is politics, and so it's natural that I will blog about politics in general. Unlike writing a column where I actually have certain sizes and certain length, the best part of a blogging is that I just need to do maybe 5 lines, 6 lines, 7 lines, 8 lines, and I update it every day. Sometimes even
every day.
Every day. Sometimes I even have 2 blogs a day. And I should have started 2 years back, because that I have been enjoying very good traffic. I have an average of I've got an average of 3,000 visitors a day.
Oh, really?
Yes. And
mostly text, any clips, sound clips, any video clips yet?
Not yet. I have put on the visuals. I've not gone on to video yet. I think it's something that I need to learn. I need to learn about yes, one video. I did put in one video.
Really?
Which I downloaded from my newspapers. What do you call it? Online. But I've not done my own video. I've not done my own podcast. Naturally, there's something that I want to do. As I said, it is still very new to me. I call it the convergence of the new media and the print media, and try to find a way that I believe that the print media and the new media could actually exist, because I believe that they have their own roles to play.
You were a print media man all along.
25 years.
And then you suddenly decided that you have to become a digital journalist as well. What sparked that move?
One is that of course the interactive medium is really important. I was writing. I decided there was one piece that I wrote. I think it was about the fuel price increase. And when I sent the first blog out, the first posting out, just 6 paras, I could get the response immediately, and I had an immediate idea of what the public wanted and how they felt. And when I wrote my column subsequently a few days later, it gave me a better perspective of things. If I would do it on print media, I wouldn't be able to get it immediately. I may get a response after I have, but it's different.
Is this happening in your newsroom too, to other reporters, other editors?
I am the first Group Chief Editor of a major newspaper in Malaysia to blog. No one else has blogged. You have journalists from the online medium who are blogging, but for print media, I'm the only one. I'm pushing the envelope. I'm breaking down the walls. Some people find the response and the postings that I put about them, especially the politicians, they find it very uncomfortable. Because I put in 90% of the responses and comments that I get.
You think the election results, putting the opposition in such a surprisingly good position, had a lot to do with blogging in Malaysia?
It was a major factor. For example, that one blogger actually got voted as an MP. He has a huge following. His name is Jeff Wing. His party, the Democratic Action Party, captured the state of Penang, and he became known as a blogger, and he stood for election and he won. Blogging has become I think that Malaysia is said to have one of the highest number of bloggers in the world. I mean, people blog from politics to fashion to everything, and that everybody assumed that the blogging is a mantra for everything. After the elections, we have losing politicians, politicians who lost in the election, saying that they want to do blogging. I mean, they never thought that content is important. They think that by blogging they become overnight, they be accepted by the young. But well, in the newsroom of the Star, we have decided to place the online editors and online desks to sit next to the print news desk, so they could work together.
Is it a convergent newsroom?
It's a convergent. We're going to tear down the walls. We're going to redo the design of the sitting arrangements. We don't want a divide between the print media and the new media. And we felt that they should be sitting together, because we think that eventually newspaper will not lose readers. There's always this misconception. We think that you just move on to a new medium, and the new medium will probably, it's just like you used to ride a motorcycle, now you move on to buying a car, or you're still traveling.
So newspaper will still be there?
Maybe they'll have less readers, but I think that the future is the internet. I'm a firm believer in that.
How old are you this year?
I'm 47.
So you think by the time you're 60, will still there be a newspaper, a print version?
I think it's the online version. My daughter is 17 years, so she doesn't read newspapers. The father is a newspaper editor. He doesn't read newspapers. She reads online. So what does that say? And for me, I found that it's much more fun and more meaningful to blog than to write a column.
Really?
And that comes from the editor of a newspaper.
There's a big shift.